Hello guys, today's topic is a Tsotsi novel, which is a novel that grade 11 learners learn. So currently we're going to focus on characters because I've already done summaries. If you want a summary of the book, of a book, a short summary, you can check the description below. There you can find a link and you can click obviously, then it will take you there to a video where I'm doing a short summary. So guys, it's very important that you listen, guys, as you need to know about this novel because you're gonna write about it on exam time. Obviously, if you are mature enough, you know that you have to pass at school. If you are really mature, you can't keep on failing and be old at school. So I'm here to help you pass at school. I'm here to do that. So now we're going to talk about characters. But before we talk about that, I'm going to talk about the setting shortly. The setting. Set in an unnamed township near Johannesburg. Overcrowding, poverty, unemployment, violence and crime, homelessness and gangsterism were rife. Gangsters spoke Tsotsi Tal, a mixture of English and Afrikaans and other languages. People had a queue for hours at the communal tap for water. Slum demolition squads with bulldozers of instilled fear by raising shacks in the shanty town. Parts of the township had been reduced in ruins. During this time, Sophia town was being dismantled. This was done under the guise of slum clearance. But the real reason was to fulfill the apartheid government's plan to destroy mixed areas in order to enforce separate residential areas for people of different races. The passbook system was in place to control the movement of black people. So that's the setting. We've already talked about the setting. So now we're getting to the real deal now. Characters. So guys, listen carefully and maybe write notes down. But I don't think you need to write notes down because I'm a great explainer. Tsotsi. As a boy, he was innocent and content. However, when his mother was taken from him, he was left alone to witness his father come home, and upon realizing the house was empty, he lashed out at the dog. Tsotsi was scared and fled the home. He is taken in the Peters gang. He changes his identity and becomes the dog we meet when the novel starts. At the onset of the novel, he is a leader of the gang. He is a cold, calculating anti-hero. He is brutal, unscrupulous, dishonest, ruthless, and cruel, and indifferent. He does not do any honest work. He is lazy and idle. He spends most days drinking at the shebeen and he stalks his prey at night. He describes himself as an inwardly dark. He is driven by dark impulses. He represents the worst of human nature. He creates 3 rules in order to survive as Tsotsi. Rule of the waking moment. Always be able to see his knife. Never disturb his inner darkness. Tolerate no questions from others. The novel traces his journey to redemption. He chooses to save the baby. The baby acts as a catalyst for his journey to self-discovery. He stalks and plans to kill Maurice. However, he reflects and begins to feel sympathy and crippled man. He alienates himself from the gang. He seeks Miriam's help. She shows him that your past cannot define your present or future. He finds Boston. He takes care of him and Boston talks to Tsotsi about God. He meets Isaiah and goes to church. He rediscovers his identity and humanity. He becomes David Mandondo again. He sacrifices himself in an attempt to save the baby from being crushed to death in the ruins. The smile on his face shows that he has no regrets and is pleased with whom he has become. That's Tsotsi, which is the main character. Tsotsi is the main character, by the way, if you have never read the novel. So it's very important. But now, as I've explained to you and I've basically done 3 summaries for you, I don't think there's a need to read the novel because already you know everything that's going on in the novel. Imagine 3 summaries. Now I'm even explaining the characters. So guys, it's important to listen. Listen very carefully. Mariam Ngidi. Mariam is an 18-year-old with a young baby. Like many other young women in South Africa, Mariam has been abandoned by her husband, Simon, and left with the child to care for all on her own. Or was he abducted by the apartheid police on his way to work on the mines? Tsotsi's mom and the lady who gave baby to Tsotsi have been put in the same situation and Mariam in our symbol for them. Through a street plot content, we know Mariam as the lady who feeds the little David for Tsotsi. He is shown as an overall symbolic mother, nurturing and nourishing not only baby David but her own son too. She performs this mother-like acts to Tsotsi, and teaches him how to love again. She shows the true qualities of Ubuntu. She is like Mother Mary. She shows Tsotsi that we mustn't live in the past and need to move on in life and never give up. She shows great concern and empathy, not only for the baby, for also for Tsotsi. Her inner strength is a most admirable quality. She is a strong, courageous woman who finally accepts that her husband is dead. She is determined to make a life for herself and her son, the baby David. He is introduced relatively early through Tsotsi receiving in a blue gum trees by a frightened woman who intended to rape. The baby becomes a catalyst for Tsotsi's self-discovery. The baby is fragile, dependent, needy, helpless, and vulnerable, and ultimately a miracle of life. The baby represents innocence, recognizes that, and names the baby after his past self. The baby evokes feelings of sympathy and mercy in Tsotsi, feelings he has denied before this. The baby helps Tsotsi towards becoming David again through teaching him simple life lessons such as caring, nurturing, and responsibility for others. Tsotsi nurtures the baby with milk and cleans the baby, which proves this new compassionate outlook. When David Mandondo sacrifices his own life for that of the baby, he actually saving himself. By his efforts to save the baby, his instincts have changed from violence like a street tongue to compassion like a mother, saving his humanity. It is the ultimate redemption of becoming David again. Butcher. Like all black males living in South Africa at the time, Butcher is a victim of apartheid. This man take all means to survive, and we see this expressed in the way Butcher lives his day-to-day life in the gang. To them, he is the killer. He never misses the strike and is the go-to man when the job needs to get done. Violence is the way he has learned to survive because it is the only way he can. He is an angry, cold-blooded, and a fellow humans like Gumboots Lamini. To Tsotsi, Butcher doesn't mean much other than a person in his gang who is skillful and ruthless. Later, Butcher decides to abandon the gang when Tsotsi's behavior changes. Die Up, like all the other characters, is a symbol of the apartheid in South Africa. Their personal action, values, and tendencies have been crafted by the oppression they have faced from the government. Die Up is a very loyal character. He wants the gang to stay together when Tsotsi is speaking of them to split. They are his brotherhood and he will do anything for them. He is content to follow Tsotsi's decision no matter how brutal the crime because they are all he knows. Die Up is very strong and has long arms, reflected in his name. He is slow of speech and thought. He doesn't mean much to Tsotsi. He is just a gang member. Die Up doesn't play a huge role in understanding of the novel other than when he is one who Tsotsi officially tells that the gang is over. Maurice Shabalala. He is crippled. He lost his legs 6 years ago. in a mine shaft collapse. He has lost his dignity and is ashamed of the way he must get his money in order to survive. Begging, he is proud, bitter, and without hope. He believes he is a half man. When Tsotsi gang goes to the city, Tsotsi decides he will kill Maurice. However, he takes sympathy for the cripple because he reminds him of the yellow beach. A flash back to a dog in the backyard when he was young. Maurice is a catalyst for the Tsotsi to remember the dog. He is also a symbol for South Africa. Due to the fact that he is crippled man, much like South Africa, Maurice helps the reader to see the pivotal moment within Tsotsi and the shift that Tsotsi experienced. Maurice shows Tsotsi the value of the little things in life and shows Tsotsi that he can make choices. Maurice does not have any other influential moment within the text other than interactions that he has with Tsotsi. With his reaction, he creates and helps Tsotsi develop the ability to show the dissent and allow Tsotsi to make choices that affect others rather than just himself. He is grateful for a second chance at life when he realizes that Tsotsi isn't going to kill him. Walter Baston Ngusa is the brains of the group. He went to college but didn't complete it because he was accused of raping a fellow student. This sent him down his path of resorting to crime for survival as he had no other way to make ends meet. He is a very knowledgeable character and always tells stories to the group when they ain't out stalking prey. After the job on the trains killing Kampu Dlamini, Boston is the only gang member who shows any remorse. He is violently ill after this event. He constantly asks Tsotsi questions which go against Tsotsi last two rules. And these questions make Tsotsi hate Boston. Tsotsi beats Boston because of this question and he accuses Tsotsi of having no decency. He is only gang member with a sense of decency. This influences Tsotsi's decision throughout the book. At the end of the novel, Tsotsi seeks Boston out and cares for him in order to try and discover answers to similar questions that Boston was asking earlier. Boston acts as a catalyst of Tsotsi in Tsotsi's search for God. He explains to Tsotsi that he must seek only God to get more answers and tells Tsotsi that everyone is sick from life. Not only does he help Tsotsi understand what he must do to seek further redemption, but the exchange they have also makes Boston realize he must go back home to seek redemption from his mother. Isaiah and Tsotsi meet at the church near the end of the story and engage in a short yet life-changing conversation for Tsotsi. In the Bible, Isaiah is the 8th century prophet, inspired teacher and proclaimed of the will of God, and in the novel he teaches Tsotsi about God. He tells Tsotsi of what he will happen because of the sin and that God is inside the church and it engages his interest of attending the church even more. Tsotsi has been looking for God and that is why he went to Boston. Isaiah is his door to God. Tsotsi invited him back to the church and if it wasn't for the baby in the ruins the next day, he would have returned. Isaiah allows Tsotsi to understand the possibility of Christianity brings. Kampu Dlamini, an immigrant worker in the Johannesburg mines. He has a sunny and positive disposition, ironically. It is his broad smile that is his undoing as he prompts Tsotsi to choose him as a gang victim. Kampu is also foolish because he allows himself to be complacent and opens his pay pockets in full public view. The gang members surround him on a crowded train and kill him. The last we see of Kampu is at his funeral when officiating priest does not even know his name. However, he has an important role in the novel because he is a catalyst for the disintegration of the gang and the changes that occurs in Tsotsi's life. So guys, this is it. This is all you need to know about the novel Tsotsi when I'm talking about characters specifically. So I've explained each and every character, each and every important character. So guys, if you want a short summary, as I've told you, you can check the description and watch the short summary. It's very important that you guys watch the short summary because it releases one of the important things, not one, in fact, all of the important things you need to know when you're writing your exam. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video.